Boy, do I have a fun new creative technique for you to try today. So today we are featuring an item or items from the Sale-a-bration flyer. And the one that I chose is right near the beginning on page 3. It's called Documenting the Day. So I am going to be featuring this stamp set. And I love it because it is perfect for scrapbook titles. So documenting the day, and then I'm going to bring in a layout from, let me see which one this is, Close to My Hearts, Make It From the Heart, Volume 5, Pattern 16. I am going to change it up some. I'm going to put a frame around my layout as opposed to just one strip across the top. And they banner tipped these. I don't think I'm going to use a banner tip. I'm just not sure. I might do something different. So just know that that's what I'm going to be referring to as my cutting guide and making it my own to some degree. What I'm also using will be this Friends of the Ocean from the mini catalog. And if you look in the mini catalog, you will notice that there's a whole suite collection. I have the stamps and dies. They are in here. There's actually another one I've pulled out that I'm going to be using too. So Ocean Friends. I've also got the Iridescent, Sunny Day Iridescent dots, which I just love. And I have the Stamp, Cut, and Emboss. I have this embossing folder that I think is just gorgeous. So I will be using that as well, potentially. I'm still not 100% sure on everything I'm doing, but let me show you quickly through this paper suite because these papers are so vibrant, and there's 2 of each ones. This is the front and back designs of the first one. The next design, front and back. Aren't these colors just absolutely gorgeous? And I love that it has the pinks and the oranges. And I thought, oh, I'm not sure if this is going to work because my pictures are from a day that we went on an excursion on a cruise, but we went to a crabbing expedition, or you know, a little excursion. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. And so I loved that it had the little crabs in some of these, and I thought it would be perfect for that. And I wasn't quite sure because when I think crabs, I think red. And when I started going through my pictures, there were actually a lot of orange. You see the lime green in here that looks like lemon lime. The orangish on the roof. There's a lot of greens in the pine trees. We were in Alaska at the George Inlet Lodge. There's the buoy out in the ocean or in the lake that showed us where the traps were. The lady who was our guide also had on orange for her, I don't know what you call those pants. And these even have some orange and pinks in the crab colors. So I thought, you know what, this is going to be perfect. And we were with our friends, Kevin and Carrie, and we really miss Kevin. We lost him last year, but look, Carrie has on a jacket that's pink and blue. So Carrie doesn't realize it, but she just made my scrapbooking so easy because she matches it. And so there's Kevin, and we miss him so, so much, but I thought this might be a little therapeutic to go through and do these scrapbook pages. So this is what I'm going to work on, and I think the colors will be absolutely perfect. So the first thing I did was, I told you I wanted to make a frame style layout, so not exactly like this one. I'm going to try this, and it's an 1.5 inch frame. I don't know if that's going to be too thick. And then I cut a 10.5 inch square from basic white cardstock from Stampin' Up. And the paper that's in the back was actually one of the new colors that came out from Close to My Heart right when we were finishing up with Close to My Heart. And I believe it was called Frost. And then this is Stampin' Up's Basic White. So I know I need to order more White Willow. Basic White and White Willow are not the same. I have figured that out. The difference is approximately like this. So there is a difference, but I'm going to be using that. And then I think I'm going to bring in this Summer Splash cardstock from Stampin' Up as well. And so let's get started. I have my Balmy Blue Stampin' Pad here, and I have 2 sets of bubbles on the same block. And what I'm doing is I am stamping them onto my Post-it note twice, and then the 3rd generation I am stamping on my 10.5 square basic white cardstock. And then I'll clean that up. I did this for both pieces of cardstock. And now I'm going to show you my overspray technique. I take my Balmy Blue, I put it on my glass mat, and then I just kind of spray from the side. When I spray from the side, it like splashes and oversprays and gives me a little bit of that Balmy Blue right on my cardstock. See it? I'm going to start building my layout, and as I do, I've got to make a few decisions here. So here we go. I have my basic white that has been stamped with, I think, 3rd generation of the little bubbles from Ocean Friends using Balmy Blue. And then I have the overspray technique that I did, and I'm going to put these panels down on the frame. I have this on that I will put actually onto 2 frames. And then I have all of my pieces cut out that are going to go on the sides. So this will relieve a 3/4 inch frame all the way around. Are you guys eyeballers, or do you have to be exact and use your T-rulers and all of that? I'm an eyeballer. So I'm going to put that down, and then I have all of my pieces. This is A, that is K, this is B, I did not need 2 of that one. I cut an extra piece. This is C and J. I'm setting some aside to the other layout. That one is D, and I have extras. Oh, I actually need 1 more of this. So I'm gonna have to cut 1 more of this one for the opposite layout. But this is how these will lay out. And I have to figure out how much room I'm going to leave beside them. I'm not necessarily doing it exactly like my layout, but pretty close. And the other thing I need to make a decision on is if I want to do a banner tip or something different down here at the bottom. I'm actually considering using this wavy die cut and making them wavy along the bottom, since this is an ocean lake type theme. So I think I will go cut these off camera and make wavy bottoms to all of these banners. And then I am going to be changing a little bit about this layout. They had 3 portrait 3x4 photos here. And I don't scrapbook a lot with 3x4 photos. I tend to use more 4x6s. So I need to cut one more piece for on this page. So I think I'm going to do a 4x6 landscape and a 3x4 portrait in that spot on the other page. And then I'm thinking a portrait and a landscape here. And I'm going to have one more strip over here too. So I have to decide how I'm going to overlap these, but I'm thinking I will do something like this. And I have changed how this page is laying out because I want to make sure I have 4x6s. I suppose if I had to, I could go with a 4x4 photo here. That's a consideration, but we'll see. For this next part, I put a piece of removable tape and took this little 1/2-inch slice and taped it up here against the edge so I can keep a consistent border of how far down I bring all of these pieces. So that's just my little trick so I know how far down. And then I'm going to make this about 1/4 of an inch. Let's go about 3/8 of an inch. I told you I'm an eyeballer. And I'm not going to push down real hard. I'm just going to kind of put it down and then see if I can line these all up the way I want. Then what I like to do is put these two, I kind of try to space everything out about the same amount. And then I take the middle one and put it down first. And then it's really easy to take the other two and just know that it's like half. Split the difference between the two sides. And I'll take this off and see how it looks once it's all done. I'm just going to line this up right up against the top edge of that paper, that cardstock, where it meets the frame. And then this will go boom, 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 like this. And I'm going to start from the right, leaving that 3/8 of an inch gap over here. And then the other one, it looked like approximately 1/4 inch. Between them. So I can do 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. Because I'm not measuring all against this other side. It's what I'm going to call a generous quarter. What is a generous quarter? I would say 5/16, maybe. I don't have an exact measurement, but And there we go. So I can decide however I want to lay these things out. And I can always add more pictures if I want. So I will put my title up here. Actually, I'm wondering if I should be stamping that first. Now this, you can see that edge pretty good. But what I did was I went through with an embossing tool and kind of made the lines more pronounced going across from one side and then the other. And I did that at the top and bottom of these pieces. And I think once we put this down, it will not be, once I put a photo on top, it's not going to be very obvious where that break was. You can see a pretty good break from that embossing folder and then re-embossing it, but you're not going to see this part that's in the middle. This is one of those things, you just have to trust me. It's going to work. It's going to look great. I promise, I promise. And then the fun can begin, and I can stamp and embellish and just go crazy. Now, if I paid attention to like my advice, what you should do is probably stamp your title first. It might be a good thing I didn't though, because I've changed things up a little bit. And again, you're not going to notice as much once we come across with that, because I've used that stylus to even things out a little bit. So this won't be obvious. And I'm going to do a 4x6 and a 3x4 on this strip. So right here is where I'm going to want my title. I am doing this about our day when we were out crabbing. It was a great day. It was so much fun. I'm trying to, do I want it to be a wonderful day or a perfect day? Wonderful. I'm actually going to have to cut this because I want, oh, what a wonderful. This one doesn't have the O, it just has what a wonderful day. So, oh, what a wonderful day. And I have the largest Misti and stamp with that. Okay, I put a big post-it note. It says it's something that goes inside a card, but I put a big post-it note down so that I can try this out before I put it on my actual page. So I'm going to ink this up about halfway down on the word day with Calypso Coral. And then I have Melon Mambo. And I'm going to ink up the other half. And then I'm going to take a sponge in that Melon Mambo and just kind of blur that line between those two colors and see what I can get. looks like it's going to be gorgeous. That's pretty good. I don't think I want to clean off my stamp. I think I just want to keep inking over it. I kind of like it. I like the effect we're going for. You might have to darken up stuff, which I definitely do. But I'm going to make sure this is snug. In case I have to stamp and restamp, we want it snug all the way into that corner. And we're going to start with Calypso Coral. And then we're going to come in with Melon Mambo. And then we're going to blur the lines a little. And I'm going to let it sit on there just a little bit longer so that the ink can really soak in to the cardstock. And this Documenting the Day stamp set is what you can get for free in the Sale-a-bration promotional that's going on right now. We have a special flyer and you can see all about it on my website. I love it, I love it, I love it. I think I want a little bit more coming down of that Calypso Coral. Make sure you check out the playlist at the end of this video and in the description, because there is a link to all of the videos from the Inspiration Collaboration Design Team, and everybody is featuring items from the new Sale-a-bration flyer. And I absolutely love how the Documenting the Day stamp set pairs perfectly with the Ocean Friends stamp set and the Friends of the Ocean papers. I love it, I love it. As I finish up with the embellishment, this is my favorite part, I'm going to explain to you what I've done here. So I have cut out seaweed from my Ocean Friends dies, and I have cut them out of Lemon Lime Twist and Summer Splash. And you see those, the seaweed underneath the word day. And then I am taking my gems from the Sunny Days Iridescent dots, and I used a lot of blue ones coming up from the seaweed as if they are bubbles, and then I put a couple colorful ones around the crabs. So here I'm going to do my other two embellishment clusters with more of those seaweed, and then I have cut out a couple of circles just to kind of ground my embellishment clusters, and those are out of a punch that I used with my embossed Summer Splash leftover cardstock. And then I'm going to put on my crabs. You need to notice I'm using this roller ball, and I'm trying to give those crabs a little bit of dimension. It works wonderful. And then I put some dimensionals or mini dimensionals on the backs of these crabs, and then I put some adhesive on the very tips and outside of the crab. And so the extra little legs, I guess you would say, have been glued all the way down to my cardstock, and then the body and the claws have dimensionals underneath them, so it gives them a little bit of dimension on my page. So there you see me adding the extra adhesive so I can stick that straight down to that embellishment cluster. So that's how I achieve all of the dimension with my crabs. They're so much fun. So one of my crabs at the bottom, I just glued flat. And then the other one, I used the dimension for the bottom. And then the last thing I'll do at the end will be come in with the Sunny Days Iridescent dots. And I keep adding those all over to give a look of bubbles coming up from the seaweed, and then I add a couple of colorful ones as well. So here's all of the flip flaps and all of the pictures we have. So I love how the flip flaps extend the memories. Look at that overspray. Didn't you love that technique? And here's one final look at the whole layout. Now go check out the playlist with all of the rest of the Inspiration Collaboration design team and see what they've made with the exciting items in the Sale-a-bration flyer.